Welcome back to Prompt Engineering for Developers, ChatGPT Part 2. So in this video, we're going to continue from where we left in the last part or in the last video. So this course have been divided into two parts. So I would highly recommend if you're watching this for the first time to first go through part 1 and then continue from here as part 2. So in this part, we'll be discussing about iterative prompt development, right? So what is iterative prompt development? So I think before understanding iterative prompt development, let's try to take an example. Let's try to take a text and then try to identify some issues with the text, and then we will understand what is iterative prompt development. But before going there, I think iterative word is pretty straightforward. I guess iterative is nothing but you keep on trying again and again till you reach your desired output. So first you need to identify the issues in the first result, and then based on a list of the issues, right, you have issue 1, maybe it could be the text is too long. Then the issue 2, for example, issue 1 could be the text is too long. Then you would say that, okay, limit the number of words or sentences or characters, right? So then you get a result after you apply this prompt, and then you might identify issue number 2, which is, okay, text focuses on the wrong details. Because the example which we're going to use, of course you're going to see that in a bit, you might have a lot many details in there, but ChatGPT might not be able to focus on the right details. Sometimes it happens, right? Because you have different details within the passage or within the text which you're giving as an input. It might also focus on the wrong details. So in this case, it can be that the text focuses on the wrong details. So then what you do is you ask it to focus on the aspects that are relevant to the intended audience. For example, if you're taking an example of a product description, right? A product description for an end user, for a normal end user, B2C, the description should be in a layman terms, right? So that he can use it. But a product description for a B2B, which means that, for example, a business to business, a raw material for a company which actually does the manufacturing. So for those manufacturing companies, the product description should be more technical. But for a user, it doesn't really have to be technical, but it has to be in the form of usage, right? So it also varies based on the intended audience, right? It also depends on the intended audience. It could also be that you're writing an email. So writing an email to your boss might have a different focus, and writing an email to your team member or your subordinate would have a different tone or different aspect. Yeah. So before going into issue number 3, one thing I would like to highlight here is the course material or the examples and the context. Of course, most of the descriptions have actually taken from deeplearning.ai, prompt engineering for developers course, right? So Andrew from deep learning and again Isa from OpenAI have made this course available for free for everyone. So I would also recommend for you guys to check it out. uh, yeah, I just wanted to mention it here. And the other one is issue number 3. So it could be that the description needs a table of dimensions. It could be that it might have missed the dimensions. So you can also ask it to extract information and organize it in a table as well. So this can also be these can be a typical issues which you might encounter when you're working with a specific product description. But let's try to see how it actually looks or how it actually works in real time, right? So now I'll get into, okay, I just want to keep this one. I want you guys to open your Jupyter notebooks. So if you remember in the last session, we have discussed how to import or how to set up your Jupyter and how to import OpenAI. And then you also need to have this get completion, helper function. So we would continue from there. Okay. Okay. So let me take this example. So this example here, okay, so what this example here does is it's a fact sheet share. So this is an overview of a specific product. Okay, it could be, I think it is office furniture, I guess. And then it has some extra information like the construction. It has the dimensions like width, height, depth, and all these kind of information. And then it also has some optional information as well. And it also mentioned the materials with which it has been made. Okay, and also the country of origin. So this is the text we have. So what is the prompt? Okay, let's try to give a prompt to this. So what we are trying to prompt with this information, right? This is like my first try. just remember we are trying here the iterative prompt development, right? So this is my first initial try. So what is my prompt? So your task is to help a marketing team create a description for a retail website, okay, of a product based on the technical fact sheet. So the above one is the technical fact sheet, so we are asking it to create a description and write a product description based on the information provided in the technical specification. Again, delimiters and these kind of things we've already discussed that in the previous part. So again, I would highly recommend you guys to quickly go through that and then resume from here. Let's try to see what response it gives here. Okay, connection aborted, existing connection. Okay, sometimes it happens. Like I said, we're using the free version, so you might need to retry it. Sometimes it also takes some time. Let's see. Okay, so we have our output. So you can see here it basically wrote a description. So it basically says that introducing a stunning mid-century inspired office chair, blah de blah de blah, and then it gives some information like the construction, and then the measurements, and then the material used, and then the chair is made. Okay, it gave a very nice description. Yeah, but what I feel here is, if you remember the issue number one, what I see here is the text is too long, because if I want to put it in my website or if I wanted to send it via chat or via email, for me the text is too long, because the end user nowadays, we don't really have time to go through all the text, right? We just wanted to have summaries, we wanted to have like an aggregated information. So what I would do is, so we wanted to limit the number of words, because this is issue number one what we see here, right? So what I give as a prompt number two, because this is again iterative prompt, right? So as a second prompt, I would say that your task is to help, again the same thing. So here I'm saying that write a product description, again the same thing. So what I've used additionally here is this line, use at most 50 words. Okay, so let's see. Basically I'm saying that to limit the description within 50 words. Yeah, so you can also kind of count this by using this len function. Cut this guy. Yeah, so you can see that it has actually reduced the description to lesser than what we saw before. So what we said is to limit that within 50 words, right? It might not exactly do it within 50 words, but then it might have done almost close to that. So then what I'm seeing here, is it gave me, like, introducing our inspired office chairs, perfect for home or business, available in range of shell colors and base finishes. Okay, choose from 10 fabrics, 6 leather options. It's both stylish and functional, made in Italy. Okay, so it kind of summarized it for me. So what I wanted right now to do is to refine it a little further. So what this prompt is saying is, so the description is intended for furniture retailers. Okay, so this description is not for, like, actual customers, but here the customer is again a retailer, distributors and retailers, right? So this description need to be more on a technical aspect, because here this description which it summarized is kind of vague. So I again say that make it within 50 words, but I want it to be the intended audience, the end audience for this output is a retailer. Let's see what it gives here. Okay, so it gave us something. So it says here that again the same information, colors, okay, but then they available with or without armrest, the 5-wheel plastic coated aluminum base, pneumatic chair adjust, make it easy, desired height, made it with high quality, including a. Okay, I think it kind of went a bit towards the technical details. If you have seen it here, this chair is built to last. So if you see the country of origin, it kind of skipped it. Stylish and functional, it skipped it, because here the retailers are more interested towards technical details, right? And then what other issue I see here is, also, for example, there is another prompt. Let's also try that one as well, because it kinda is not clear as well. So what this prompt says is, it is intended for furniture retailers, but at the end of the description include every 7 character product ID in the technical specification. So this makes it more technical, right? When you have these IDs and also the technical specifications, because that is kind of what is missing here. So I wanted to refine it more further. Okay, so you can see it here. It also mentioned the product IDs. Okay, so if I go and look at the original description, so in the original thing, so you had this product ID here, right, in the overview. So we also made it at the end by adding iteratively an extra statement saying that, okay, just uh, at the end of the description, product ID in the technical specification. Okay, so again, what you can additionally do here is you can also say that make it in a table, right? Make it in a table. So let's try to see how this does. So your task is to help, again the same thing, write a product description, okay, limited by triple backticks, and this is again intended for furniture retailers. Include the specification, product ID, and after the description include a table that gives product dimensions. So any additional information what we're trying to include here is include the product dimensions as well, and then make two columns. The first column includes the dimension, the second column includes the measurements in inches only. So give the table the title, okay, and format everything as HTML because you wanted to display this on your website. So you wanted it to be in the HTML format. You remember in the previous videos we've also seen that it can also convert the data into different formats, right? So let's try to run this, and then you can also, let's see, because we also mentioned that we need to give it little time for it to give us the response. Okay, it's still running. Yeah, so this is the output in the form of HTML. So it's kind of a little difficult for us to read. So what we do is we have another library in Python. So let's try to use that library and format this for displaying purpose, right? So what I have done is I have from ipython.display, I have imported display so that we can display that in the form of table. Okay, let's try to run this and then this. Perfect. So basically what I've done is I wanted it to display the response and convert and display that so that I can see it from HTML. So you can see that this is a very nice fancy description which you can put in your website with product IDs, and then you also have a product dimensions in the form of table. So what we have done, just a little recap, right? So first we did an initial prompt. Okay, we got some answer, but we were not satisfied it because the intended audience were different. So it gave like a vague answer. Then we iteratively asked it to limit the sentences. That's what we did. And then we also asked it to um, you know um, add product information, intended audience. Then we asked it to convert into HTML and also include a table structure with more technical details. So this is basically called iterative prompting. So if I go back to my PowerPoint. Yes. So if you recollect when we discussed in the PPT, in this PPT, what iterative prompting is, first you identify the issues, then you try to first you identify the issues, then you try to list down the issues, and then you try to refine your search. Okay, so this is altogether called iterative prompting. So let's try to see what is the next item we have. So the next one is summarizing. So summarizing, again, self-explanatory, right? Because these terminologies are not new for us, but we need to understand what they mean in the context of generative AI, large language models. So in this case, summarize text with a focus on specific topics. So you have a big text, now you wanted it to summarize. Okay, so you can summarize with a word, with a sentence, or with a character limit. Summarize with focus on shipping and delivery. Again, this could be a product information and you wanted to summarize focusing on a specific keywords or specific topics. And then summarize with a focus on price and value. Here we used shipping and delivery, here we used price and value. You can also summarize multiple product reviews as well. So what we are trying to say here is you can summarize focusing on a different topics, on different aspects, on different directions. It could be word, it could be delivery, it could be shipping, it could be price, it could be value, it could be product reviews. I mean, these summarizing examples here in the list, what you see are actually for a specific example which you're going to see in the Jupyter notebook, but it could be anything else, right? Based on your specific use case. So let's try to, yeah, I want to keep this. So let's try to see what does it mean in Jupyter notebook. Okay, let me add a few additional cells here, and then first let's try to take an example. Okay, okay, so this is basically the product review we have here. Okay, so this is a product review. Okay, so this product review is the text. What it says: got this panda plush toy for my daughter's birthday, who loves it. And it's basically a review given by a customer. You can find lot many reviews in Amazon or in all the other e-commerce sites if you really wanted to play around with this with this uh, with this topic. I mean, at least with summarizing topic, right? So what we are trying to do here is, so my prompt is what I want to do. So basically my prompt is, I'm saying that the task is to generate a short summary. So the prompt is to generate a short summary of a product review from an e-commerce site, because I'm saying that this is a product review coming from an e-commerce site, so that the language model is kind of aware of it. And then I'm saying that summarize the review below, again delimited, okay, because this is what I want to summarize, which is this. And then I'm saying that in at most 30 words. So I wanted to summarize in at most 30 words. So I think summarizing is something new, but again, we've kind of seen this summarize or limit that in 30 words or 50 words in the previous example as well. Let's try to see. I need to run first this, and then I need to run this. Okay, so what does it say? It says that soft and cute panda plush toy loved by daughter, but a bit small for the price, arrived early. Okay, kinda within 30 words. Okay, so what else we want to do, right? So we have learned that okay, maybe the focus shouldn't be on this context. Maybe the focus should be on shipping and delivery, right? Let's try to focus on that so that I can improve as an e-commerce company. I just wanted to understand the pain points of the user so that I can improve on them. I mean, this summary is good. This review is good. This feedback is good. But I actually wanted to understand the negative feedback in that, understand the emotion, and where I can improve. Right. So what I'm asking here is, I have added like focusing point. Focus on any aspect that mentions shipping and delivery. Okay, because if my company is a logistics company which is working with an e-commerce company, so I would be only focused on shipping and delivery of the product, right? Because the product has been manufactured and it's been published by another e-commerce site. But for me, I just wanted to keep it very effective in terms of deliveries, because I own a delivery company, because I own a logistic company. So my focus would be fetching all the reviews and just focusing on the shipping and delivery aspect so that I can improve in that area, right? Because we are basically like dividing the work here. So let's see what does it say. Okay, the panda toy plus toy arrived a day earlier than expected, but the customer felt it was a bit small for the price. Okay, so okay, the price, we have some issues with the price. Okay, that's kind of okay, because we don't want it to focus on that, but what we wanted to focus was on the shipping and the delivery. So here the customer is really happy, at least for the delivery aspect, on the delivery aspect, because he says that the product has been arrived a day earlier than expected. So I, as a logistic company, I'm doing actually good, because I have committed that it's going to arrive in 3 days, and I made sure, or at least my delivery people made sure that the product reached to the customer within 2 days, where I've promised to be done in 3 days, but I made it in 2 days, which is good, right? So these kind of focus areas you can also target. And let's say now the actual e-commerce site wanted to understand the other pain points. So in this area, or in this prompt, what we wanted to focus is just focus on any aspect that are relevant to price and value. So what I'm trying to say here is, in the before prompt I said that focus on on shipping and delivery, and in this prompt I'm saying that focus on price and value. Let's try to see what the output will be. So it says that it is soft, it is cute and loved by the recipient, but the price may be too high for its size. Okay, so it's very clear because it also kind of gave the same response in the previous prompt as well. So it says that the price may be too high for its size. Okay, so the customer in this case thinks that the product is good, but it's high, the price is high for its size. Okay, maybe with this output or with this feedback, I really don't know, but I as an e-commerce site, I might think by reducing the price or maybe connecting with my manufacturing unit to do some changes there, right? If I find these kind of reviews are coming more and more. Okay, so what you can also do is, okay, this is something what we've done for one review, but you can also do this for multiple reviews, right? So you have like, review 1, which is product review, review 2, review 3, and then you have review 4, right? You might have like, tens and tens of reviews. So what you can do is you can you can combine all the review, you can run a for loop, something like this, and then try to find the summaries of these reviews, right? Let's see. Okay, so again I forgot to run this cell because you need to run that so that these review 4, 3 and 2 will be assigned as a variables. So let me run this again. Okay, so it's kind of generating now because we are talking about for loop an array, right? It starts with 0, that's why you see 0. Okay, there is an error. It says rate limit reached for default 3. Please try again in 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm kind of using like the free version, so it says that the limit has been reached, so I kind of need to wait for at least 20 seconds. But let's try to run it again. Okay. Okay, I need to wait for 20 seconds. No worries. Let's wait for 20 seconds. Yeah, so when I tried it after 20 seconds, I think you can already see the answer coming here. So it gave 0, 1 and 2, but it says that, okay, 3 per minute. I think it can only give 3 prompts per 1 minute. So again, I have to wait for 20 seconds because this loop, it can only give 3 answers per minute. Okay, anyways, so we have given like 4, so that's the reason that the fourth one it's kind of not taking because the limit is 3 per minute as per the free trial version. Okay, this is clear. I think let's try to understand the next topic. But I think you kind of understood what is summarizing, right? So let's try to see about the next topic. Okay, so the next topic is transforming. Okay, so again, transforming is kind of self-explanatory. You can see that here. So what is transforming? Transforming is nothing but in this use case, at least in this aspect, we will be exploring how to use large language models, right? Which is ChatGPT for text transformations. Okay, such tasks as language translation, spelling, and grammar checking. Of course, tone adjustment and format conversion. I kind of feel that we are repeating few topics which we've discussed again and again because we are again focusing on a specific area. But in a high level, you can see that ChatGPT can do all these kind of things. Okay, so here it in this case it will be used for translation. It can be used as an universal translator. It can be used to change the tone of the transformation or tone of the message. It changes the format, and it can also check a spelling and also grammar for us. So this is basically what we have within transforming. So transforming is a concept, and things within transforming you can do is a list what you see here on the screen. And now we use ChatGPT to do this transforming. To keep this, and let's go to our Jupyter notebook. So I think the first one is, let's try to take an example of a prompt. Okay, translate the following English text to Spanish. Okay, this is purely a translation transformation. Okay, so the data engineers out there, you know what is transformation. I think if you If you feel this term is new for you, I would highly recommend you to go through my DP203 course on how you can achieve data engineer certification, Azure data engineer certification, and all the data engineering services you have within Azure. So here we are trying to transform this English language or English text to Spanish. Let's try to see here. Okay, hola. So it says that hola, me gustaría ordinar una licuadora. I'm extremely sorry. My Spanish is way worse. I know that, but I still I put my effort there. So let's try to yeah, so you can see that you got a response. I would not like to read this because I know that my Spanish is not really good. So I wouldn't want to say something wrong in Spanish. So I would just keep it like this. But you can see that it has been translated into Spanish, right? And then let's say you wanted to check what language is this, for instance, right? So tell me which language is this. So you can check, okay, so this is French. I'm not really sure if it is French, but I would 100% trust ChatGPT in this case that this is definitely French because it cannot go wrong because these large language models have also been trained in multiple international languages. So it could be or they can be used for translation purposes, right? So then I say that translate the following text to French and Spanish and English pirate. So I want to order a basketball. Okay, French pirate. So we say that English pirate. So we are basically asking it to translate into three different languages, right? So that's what it is here. And then there is also another example related to translation. Translate the following text to Spanish in both the formal and informal forms. So now we are asking it to change it in a formal way and also in informal way. Okay, so it also gave you, formal side heading or then it says that, okay, formal and then you have a colon and this and then informal. So would you like to order a pillow? So you've got like both formal and informal. I'm just checking if there is any difference. Okay, I think in wording there is no difference, but I think there is the lay and tay. So I think it makes a big difference by just changing one letter, I guess. Okay, then we have the next thing we have is a universal translator, right? Let's try to see that how it works. So this is the user message. Okay, so this is the user message. So what it says, okay, it says that the system performance is slower than normal, my monitor has pixels that are not lighting, my mouse is not working. So kinda, so this is in a different language. Okay, I really don't know which language is this, but it says that this is in a different language, and it is basically saying that we have issues, right? So you can say that, by reading them in English, you can say that system performance, monitor, mouse, keyboard, it kind of looks that it is an IT company, which is global IT company, because right now globalization is like a big thing. It is a global IT company, and you have their IT help desk located in one region who only speaks one language. So in that case, so you getting requests coming from like all the different regions, maybe from China, from India, and also maybe from Japan, from France, from Italy, sometimes, and also from Germany. They speak their own language and they wanted the support. So in that case, or maybe not language, but they might just, enter their user requests, right? What support they wanted from the IT help desk. But unfortunately, the help desk only speaks one language, which is English, say, in this case. So how do they translate things, right? I mean, this can be a big use case where we can use ChatGPT within the organization to do these kind of translations. So let's try to run this text. So what I'm saying is, for issue in user message prompt, tell me what language this is. I'm asking what language, and then I'm saying that print original message language and then issue, and then translate the following text to English and then Korean. So I'm asking it to recognize the language, print the language, and the message, and then translate it to English and also in Korea. Okay, I'm not really sure how this works because we have a for loop and then we have a limit here, but let's see. Okay, it says that the original message, this is French, uh, and then the English is the system performance is slower than usual, and then this is Korea. Okay, so you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And we got responses 1, 2, 3, 4, because like I mentioned in the previous example that we have a limit, so it can only give 3 at max because we're using a free version. But no worries. Let's try to take another example. So in this example, we'll be focusing on tone transformation, right? So tone transformation is like, so translate the following from slang to a business letter. I say like, dude, this is Joe. Check out this spec on this standing lamp. I mean, this is like more friendly, right? A friend is just saying that, check this out, the specification, check out the Netflix web series. But if you want to put it more formal and in a business tone, we want to translate, right? And let's see how ChatGPT does it for us. Dear Sir slash Madam, I'm writing to bring to your attention a standing lamp that I believe may be of interest to you. Please find attached the specifications for your review. Thank you for your time and consideration. This is amazing. I mean, literally, dude, this is Joe. Check out the spec. From here, we went to, I believe, maybe of interest to you. Please find the attached specifications. I mean, like, thank you for your time and consideration. So it went like too formal, too business aspect, right? So yeah, I mean, you can also refine this, of course, if you feel like this is more formal. And then we have this format conversion. So this is the next example. So here you can see we have a variable with some JSON data. You have restaurant employees, then you have name, and then you have email address, which is key and value. And then what we want is translate the following Python dictionary. Okay, this is Python dictionary from JSON to HTML. So and HTML table with column headers and title. So this is like a typical format conversion use case, right? And then you can also view that. Let's see. Okay, so this is definitely HTML. We can see that it's been enclosed with the tags. And let's try to see that using this one. So you can see that restaurant employees, you have name and you have email address. So this is how you do a format conversion. But then we have a spell check or grammar check. Okay, so let's take an example for that use case. So you have a text. So text says that the girl with the black and white puppies have a ball. Okay, Yolanda has a notebook. So you can also see in the hash, which is like the comment we gave, the girl has a ball. So this says okay. This is homonyms. It's also homonyms. Homonyms, I have no idea what homonyms is. Homonyms, and this is a spelling. We have issue with spelling. So what we are trying to do here is we have added a for loop for the this about text. Proofread and correct the following text and rewrite the corrected version. If you don't find any errors and errors, if you don't find any errors, just say no errors found. Don't use any punctuation around the text. So let's see. So the reason we gave t here is because this t is coming from for loop and we are trying to put t in this text. The text is this. Okay, again we have a for loop, so we have a limit there. So let's try to see if this gives us the answer we're expecting. Okay, so it says that the girl with the black and white puppies has a ball. No errors found, at least for this, no errors found. It's going to be a long day. Does the car need its oil changed? It's going to be a long day. So it says corrected version, no errors found. So again, due to the limitations of these API calls, we are not able to see the whole answer. Um, let's try to take one more example where we don't have a for loop. I think maybe that gives us more understanding. So here you have a text. It says that got this for my daughter for her birthday. So it has some message or some feedback or review. I don't know. Prompt is proofread and correct this review. Okay. So here the word we used is proofread, right? I mean, this is very important. I mean, these terms which we use, like, which help us to understand better the prompt engineering. And then it says that I got this for my daughter's birthday because, you see, cause we had like just a cause and then we made it to be cause. She keeps talking mine from my room. Sorry, not talking, taking mine from my room. And yes, adults also like pandas too. Yes, adults also like pandas too. And she takes it everywhere with her, and it's super soft and cute. One of the ears is a bit lower than the other, but here it added however, right? I mean, these kind of things, right? So it kind of corrected it. So you can also use this for correcting your messages. Okay, let's go to our PPT. Okay, so then I think we kind of forgot inferring, because it's inferring and then we have transforming. So let's try to understand what is inferring. So infer sentiment and topics from product reviews and news articles. So here the important thing is sentiment. If you're coming from a data engineering background or data science background, you already know what sentiment analysis is, right? So just try to find out the sentiment, whether the user is kind of being positive or negative about the specific product or on this review. And then identify the types of emotions, identify the anger, and extract product and company name from customer reviews, and then infer 5 topics, right? So these are the typical examples or prompts which we're going to see with our example. But main important thing with inferring is you kind of extracting the sentiment, the emotion, and the anger, those kind of things in a specific text, right? Let's see that with keep it. So let's see that with our Jupyter notebook with few examples. So let's start with a product review again, because we have taken these reviews as an example because these are kind of easy to understand, right? Because everyone out there might have done e-commerce, online internet shopping at least once in their life, so they can relate to these examples. So we have a lamp review, and it says that needed a nice lamp for my bedroom, and this one had additional storage. So basically this is a review for the lamp. I wouldn't want to read it. Then what we want to do here is, so basically my prompt now is to understand whether the sentiment is positive or negative. So what is the sentiment of the following product review? Let's see. Sentiment of the product review is positive. Very straightforward, because it knows what I want, whether I want to see it as a positive or negative. It knows, right? So that's why it kind of gave, when I used a keyword called sentiment, it literally translated it to, it should be either positive or negative. So here, what is the sentiment of the following product review? Give your answer as a single word, either positive or negative. Okay, so here it said positive, the sentiment of the product review is positive. It gave in a single sentence, but I just wanted it in a single word. Yeah, bam, it just gave like, yeah, it's positive in a single word. So now let's try to identify some emotions and let's see how does they look. So this is like identify a list of emotions that the writer of the following review is expressing. Okay, so include no more than 5 items in the list. Format your answer as a list, lowercase, separated by commas. So in the above text itself, we are basically saying to identify the emotion and list them. So it says he's happy, he's satisfied, he's grateful, he's impressed, he's also content. Okay, so this is how it lists the emotions. And it says there is one more prompt, kinda maybe interesting. So is the writer of the following review expressing anger? The review is delimited by this. So basically we are checking if there is any anger in the review. Just say me yes or no. I'm not interested in the whole context or text. No. Good, because previously we saw that he's happy, satisfied. So how can he be happy, satisfied, and anger at the same time? No, right? Then we also, you can also extract, right? You can also extract specific information from the summary or from the text. Sorry. So here what we are saying is identify the following items from the review text. Item purchased by reviewer, company that made the item. So the review is delimited with triple ticks, triple backticks, and format your response as a JSON object. So what we are saying is keep item and brand as the keys, and if the information isn't present, use unknown, and make your response as short as possible. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying it to identify or extract the product and the company name on the customer review. Let's see what it gives. So it says that the item is lamp and the brand is Lumina, the company is Lumina, and put it in the JSON format, right? You can also say to do that things. So there is one more prompt here. So identify the following items: sentiment, whether he's expressing any anger, items purchased by reviewer, company. So whatever we did previously individually, now I want them to do all together. So it says it's positive, it says anger is false, it says the item, and it says the brand. Yeah, there's nothing to explain there because it's self-explanatory. So then we have inferring 5 topics. What does it mean? So let's say you have a big story. Okay, you have very big story. It says in the recent survey. So maybe this is a news article. Okay, so what you want to infer from this? So you want to say that just determine. It says that determine 5 topics that are being discussed in the following text. So what are 5 topics they're discussing in this news article? I don't have any time to read the whole article. I just wanted to understand what are the topics they're discussing in that, and if that topic is kinda interested, then I might get into details to understand more about the topic, right? So before reading the news article, I just wanted to understand what topics. If any of that topic interests me, then I'll read it. So that's the use case. Okay, story is not defined. Again, I forgot to run this guy. So now you have that and then this. So it says it's a government survey, job satisfaction, NASA, social security administration, and employee concern. So these were like the topics discussed in the above article. So inferring is nothing but extracting the sentiments of the users, emotions, and also like companies and names, and also um, fetching the topics which's been discussed there. So basically this is called inferring. Let's see what we have. Okay, so the last topic what we have here in ChatGPT part 2 for prompt engineering developers is expanding. So what does expanding mean in this case? So expanding. So we will generate customer service emails that are tailored to each customer review. So in this case, the use case we have taken is, I think you might have already seen and experienced the AI chatbots, right? So when you try to ask a question, it kind of gives you an answer. So nowadays we have the chatbots for every website almost. So what we're trying to build with this expanding feature is, you got a response or you got an email from a customer, and now you wanted to give response back to him, right? So this is like, you might have also got like automated reply, so please don't reply to this email because no one is monitoring this. This is an automatic reply, but those automatic replies are static, they are like very fixed. But in this case, what I wanted to build is, I wanted to build an automatic reply to the email, but I also wanted to include the information in the mail and reply specific to that specific customer review, which means tailor, which means tailor to that each customer review. Okay, so I just wanted to reply it as human replies to a customer. Okay, so let's see how that works. Let's go to our notebook. Let's add few cells here, and then we have expanding. Okay, so let's try to take an example. Okay, so this is basically a big review. So this review says that the statement from a lesson on inferring, okay, the previous lesson which we discussed, inferring, and the original customer message, customize the email. We wanted to customize the email. Yeah, this was the word actually I was looking before. So customize the email for each and every individual's feedback mails. Okay, so the sentiment is negative. Okay, and then the review is this review for a blender. So basically this is the review. Okay, so what we want to do here, so let's try to add a prompt here. So what is the prompt? So the prompt says that you are a customer service AI assistant. Okay, I'm asking the language model, the ChatGPT, to imagine or to think itself that it is an AI assistant. Your task is to send an email reply to a valued customer. Given the customer mail delimited, okay, generate a reply to thank you, and then if the sentiment is positive or neutral, thank them. If the sentiment is negative, apologize and suggest they can reach out to a customer service, and then write in a concise and professional tone. I'm also asking it to write in a concise tone. And also this is very important, guys, sign the email as AI customer agent. Very important, because it it's okay, right? I mean, using the technology is absolutely fine. That's how we evolve, that's how we progress. But what important thing to keep in mind is you need to let know the customer or the user that this information is generated by AI so that they are aware of it. Because, like I said, AI makes mistakes. It has hallucination. It doesn't have information for real time. It might also think, and because we're no one might be really monitoring these emails, and the customer might get an email which is completely wrong. And if it is sent by an user, I think things will completely get escalated very quick. So if he already is aware that this email has been customized and sent by an AI agent, even if that email is completely wrong, even if the email has mistakes, that's fine. User can understand, he can acknowledge, okay, this is an AI assistant, maybe I need to reach out to the customer agent to get more details on this, right? So it is very important to sign the email as AI customer agent, and it's very important that you use AI responsibly. Okay, so let's try to run this prompt. I think before doing that we need to run this guy. So let's see what it gives us. Okay, perfect. So it has created as a customized email. It says that, dear valued customer, thank you for taking the time to leave a review about our product. We are sorry because the sentiment was negative, right? So you experienced an increase in the price. We would like to assure that we will take all the feedback and then thank you again. Please do not hesitate to reach our customer service. Perfect. Best regards, AI customer agent. Amazing. So it literally has customized an email based on the feedback, based on the sentiment. So I think this is what expanding. So expanding is nothing but, like, you expand based on the input. You kinda expand and transform it into your need. So that's what we want to understand here as part of expanding feature within prompt engineering. Let me see if you have any other topics here. So this is iterative and summarizing, inferring, transforming, and expanding. Perfect. So I think that's it, guys. So this is ChatGPT prompt engineering for developers, ChatGPT part 2. Thank you so much. I know it is also lengthy. It has been a lengthy lecture, but I hope it was clear. I hope at least you kind of got a grasp of how you can use these prompts to get your desired output. Again, I would like to thank Deep Learning AI for providing this course for free, and thanks everyone for following throughout this course. And I would also request you guys to subscribe our channel and also follow us in LinkedIn, which gives us more encouragement and motivation to make these kind of videos. Thank you so much. Have a good day.